Did you guys consciously try to develop, and because you really developed styles like the first time, did you ever think like, I got to come up with something new for this record because no one's done this before?
When I think back, I would imagine that like Wes Montgomery felt the same pressure because there were so many amazing guitar players before him. And so Hendrix must have felt the same way when he heard Wes Montgomery around. He was a contemporary.
Oh, yeah.
So Jeff Beck obviously did because he just kept going forward and just changing direction, didn't listen to anybody, and just kept breaking barriers and building new bridges. So I think for me anyway, it's better just not to even engage in that and just continually just be expressive about how you feel about life and what's happening. And, the world does not owe me a career. So I don't get upset when when it dips, but I celebrate when it doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think inevitably, whenever a person decides to play an instrument and they start getting deep into it, their unique sensibilities just have to flow in somehow, unless they really fight it. And some people do. And it's basically out of fear of not being able to fit in because what they're doing just might seem too obtuse to them or something, and the rest of the world. And then there's people that love playing and they don't really want to have their own voice. They just want to play. When I reflect on me and how my kind of voice developed, it was very innocent. I didn't feel like, okay, now you remember you're going to be a big rock star guitar player one day, so you have to be different. No, it was just the fun of discovering something that was not what I was hearing usually. Because I would listen to the blues, loved great blues, great rock, great jazz, classical, and I would tinker about with all that stuff. But I never felt good enough to be authentic at any of those things. I mean, if you hear me play the blues, it's... And I tried, and every time I would do something that sounded conventional, and even the really good stuff, it didn't feel right. It never sounded as good as the guys that did it great. And it just felt weird to me. So I found myself just looking for, obtuse things, And once I'd find them, I would just exaggerate them, okay, what is that? And how can I, make it bigger? And this never ends. This is it's one of the highlights of playing an instrument like a guitar that is so malleable and changes with every touch, every angle of the pick and every amp and everything. There's so much, there's infinite options. So I also feel that there will be, and there is, young people coming along that are doing that same thing. I mean, you have them all. I mean, you've Mateo, you see the Tims, Tim Hensons, and Scotty LePages. There is a very healthy evolution going on. And I think they're doing the same kind of thing. They're looking for what feels natural to them and then exaggerating it.
I'd like to take a second to talk to you about this channel. This is actually Rick Beato 2. I've had it since the beginning of my main channel, and many of you are not subscribed. As a matter of fact, 87% of the people that watch this channel regularly are not subscribed. So I encourage you to hit the subscribe button on this channel and on my main channel. This will help me get even more of my dream guests and help continue to grow both channels. Thank you.
But I do love when I come across something that I feel is relatively unique. Like, oh, you never played that before, and I haven't really heard that before. Let's unpack it. That's fun. It's just fun. You know that.
Oh yeah.
That's one of the great joys of playing, is the discovery of things within yourself you didn't know were there.
So if I said to you, what is a perfect guitar solo from one of your guitar heroes? Just anybody that you grew up listening to that you think, oh, this is a perfect guitar solo.
God, so many.
Yeah, there's so many.
Oh, Hendrix Machine Gun.
Yeah, that's exactly in my mind right
that's
now.
the greatest
That's
live
the greatest
performance
live
ever
performance.
On an electric guitar. That's hands down.
It's the voice of God.
I'd have to mention a favorite of mine is Alan Holdsworth, Red Alert from
Amazing.
Believe It. To me, that's, you could write a thesis on that. Just how he starts, where he goes with it, how bizarre it gets, and then how he ends it. I mean, how he finishes it is so elegant. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And you can't hear the pick. I
Can't hear the
Yeah,
pick.
I
you
remember
can't hear the
watching him
pick.
like this close, and I see that he's picking, but why
Yeah,
can't I
you
hear
can't
the
No,
pick?
you guys both knew Alan, right?
Yeah.
And
I released his records.
yes, you did. That's right. So I saw Alan play many times, and up close, but I could never tell what he was doing ever. I could never see where his fingers were,
Yeah.
and I could never hear his pick.
Yeah.
Even if you heard Alan play, if you were next to him, is it the same thing? That
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I used to go to his apartment all the time, and he'd be playing, and this same thing. I had this really great gig when I first moved out to California. I was working for Frank transcribing. I was transcribing some other things, and I got a call from Alan, and I was just this, And he has this very unique way, or he had this unique way of writing down his music. Totally different.
right?
And he wanted to do a chord book.
Yeah.
But he needed a translator. So I was actually hired to go and hang with him and get a great explanation of how he how he navigated the neck and the pictures that he saw,
Okay.
and how to translate that into conventional notation so other people can, do what they will with it. It was really a great experience.
I've seen some of his chord charts in the way that he explained them, and they're
Yeah.
just very so fascinating.
Yeah, very abstract, but he knew what how to kind of capture that stuff in his mind and see it on the guitar. And he improvised. Everything was all improvising. That's freakazoid stuff.
So what do you guys, when you are out touring like this, do you tend to practice, or do you work anything out before, like during the tour when you're actually out traveling and do stuff? Do you only pick up the guitar at sound check, or when you come on the gig when you're touring?
Well, this tour is kind of unique because of what Steve and I have coming afterwards, right? So we're woodshedding for an upcoming tour. That's kind of weird for us.
Yeah.
But in general, if I have a day off, I won't play.
Okay.
And most of the time we play 6 nights a week, so it's a nice rest. I like playing an hour to 45 minutes beforehand. On this tour, I start warming up around Little Pretty. And so I start with my whole tone scale. It's
a good scale to play over.
It is. It's a good one to warm up with. And so that's my routine. And I basically just go over all the stupid things I did the night before and go, why did you do that? And then try to figure out an easier way to finger something. And a lot of it has to do with the entertainment part of it, where you realize you need to run over there and do something, but you also have to play this part. Our instrumental gigs are rather unique. So we can't just hit a note and jump around and, we're never backing up somebody. You know what I mean? Yeah. We're always at the forefront. So there's a lot of stuff to go over. At the end of a gig, you go, this was good, screwed that up. I should work on that one, maybe try a different pickup, don't step on the pedal for this. And, so I go through all that.